Hello and welcome back. This session is all about integration. Integration is the embodiment of wisdom at a deep level. The integration of the information that you've received during your spiritual practices. Sometimes this can be dramatic or subtle, just enough that you are aware of a shift within yourself. When you have had experiences that are so-called paranormal or unusual, this can often lead to self-doubt. You ask yourself whether it's real or not, or even, am I normal? It's okay, you are. It helps if you can surround yourself and talk to other people that have had similar experiences. As your personal beliefs become challenged, this may also cause resistance within yourself. Let me give you an example. When I had my first spiritual awakening 7 years ago, I had an experience of information suddenly flowing into my consciousness. I saw visions, I saw past lives, and this continued for some weeks after the first experience. And I would wake up at the early hours, say 3 or 4 a.m, and my right hand would be above my head, and I would just witness it scanning my body and rebalancing my energy centers. And then one morning I actually woke up speaking Indian. So I got my iPhone, I recorded it, and I don't speak Indian. And it was the phrase Hari Bhakti, and it was Hari Bhakti Valasu. So I looked this up, and I was surprised to find out that it's actually 14th century religious texts from India. So at this point, there was part of my mind that was thinking, this is not possible. How could I know that? And then the other part of my mind that was just accepting that this is coming from a place of love and growth. I still don't understand why I was given that information, but after a while, these events just start to become normal. It's about incorporating what your mind understands and allowing a level of awareness to sink into the energy of your heart and to allow that flow of energy to move through you without resistance. All of which leads you further on your path to becoming authentic and a sovereign being. The universe, God, the Creator, whichever you prefer, is always communicating with you, always guiding you. Although when your heart and perceptions are closed, it's similar to having a radio that is not turned on. Your signal is there, but you are not receiving any messages. The universe whispers. It speaks, and then it shouts. When the universe does want your attention, it has a tendency to find a way to stop you in your tracks. This is the wake-up call. And it can come in many forms. An accident, a health issue, a relationship breakup, a period where everything in your life just seems to go wrong, or even a breakdown, or as I like to think of it, a breakthrough. Whatever it takes for you to stop and look at yourself and your life will be what you need at that point in time. Then there is the gradual waking up of your own spirituality. This may not be as dramatic, but usually starts with a feeling inside. A feeling that your present life and the way you are living is just not enough, and that something is missing. Even though from the outside everything looks great, there is a part of you that wants to expand, that knows that you are more than you are presently thinking that you are. And this gradual awakening is no less of a challenge. Sometimes you still arrive at the same crossroads where things need to change and with a need to let go of that which no longer serves you. It's the classic hero's journey, the same story that has been told for thousands of years. It begins with step 1, the ordinary world. This is where we meet you, the hero. Before the journey begins, the hero has to accept where they are now, as mundane and as ordinary as it is. Next is step 2, the call to adventure, in which an adventure starts. The call to adventure is about moving the hero out of their comfort zone. Here they are generally confronted with a problem or challenge they can't ignore. Step 3, refusal of the call. This is where the hero might first refuse the call to adventure. It's risky and there are dangers, but usually with enough leverage or persuasion, the call to adventure cannot be refused. Step 4, meeting the mentor. This is where the hero finds a mentor, a teacher or guide. The hero needs to be guided at this point and needs to realise what skills they have and what they need to improve upon if they are to face the challenges ahead. Step 5, crossing the first threshold. Now the hero is ready and committed to the journey. This is where the rubber hits the road. There is no going back now. Step 6, tests, allies and enemies. Once the protagonist is in the new world, he or she will meet allies and enemies, or foes that turn out to be friends, and vice versa. This is where you find the lay of the land. Step 7, approaching the innermost cave. This is where the hero evaluates where they are, who they are they enough to deal with their own greatest fears? Step 8, the ordeal, the dark night of the soul. This is the darkest moment, the belly of the whale and the bottom of the well. If they survive it, they will emerge transformed. This is a critical moment in the story and will affect every decision that the hero makes from this point onwards. Step 9, reward, seizing the sword, in which the hero sees light at the end of the tunnel. Our hero has been through a lot. He or she can now collect their reward for their endeavours. A major step forward has been achieved. A goal has been reached. Here there is a deep sense of worth, that the hero has purpose and a place in the world. Step 10, the road back. Now that the hero has seized the reward, the hero tries to return to the ordinary world, but there is a realisation. There are further obstacles to overcome as a result of achieving the previous reward. Because they achieved the previous reward, the hero is pursued across the battlefield, and he or she must face the opposing forces before they can return home. Step 11, resurrection. Here the dark side has one last opportunity to defeat the hero. This is the final test on the journey. This is the final battle, where light meets dark, the villain meets the hero, the last round of the boxing match, where both sides do everything they can to win. If the hero survives, then the happy ending is in sight. Step 12, returning as the hero. This is the triumphant homecoming. Finally, the hero gets to return home. The journey has resulted in them growing and maturing. They are not the same person who started the journey. They are stronger, wiser, and have earned the prize. They are forever changed. The hero's journey is complete. You are the hero of your own life, and there is a point in the journey that is also referred to as the dark night of the soul. I have been there and have met many people who have also had similar experiences. Thankfully, not everyone needs to go through the dark night of the soul, especially to the depths that myself and others that I have met have. But still, when there is a place where you're in so much pain that you cannot see a way out, your heart is breaking and you just want to end your life, this is an opportunity to grow. You cannot bounce until you reach the bottom. The ability of men and women to overcome despair, to rise above the ashes of adversity and become more than they have ever been in their life before, is something deep within the human spirit. Sadly, some people don't make it through the darkness of the tunnel, but for those that do, there is growth, expansion, love, and contribution to others, and the recognition that they are on the same journey as you. I have found through my own experience and other people's that there is a pattern. You start your journey. This usually begins with a feeling that something has to change. Then things start to happen and things do start to change. You start to feel a lack of control. The ego starts to resist and hold on to the way things were. You experience uncertainty and sometimes sadness and loss. Then a teacher appears, or perhaps a set of circumstances that inspire you. Could be a book that speaks to you, or a new friend that is there to guide you. Now you start to learn new things and begin to feel that things are shifting and there's a sense of growth. Then suddenly it stops. It feels like you've just plateaued, as if someone has just put the brakes on just when things were going so well. This is the point where integration is taking place, and it's a perfect time to surrender. Surrender to the process and develop the ability to have faith that you are right where you are supposed to be. Taking the time to find and connect to the people that will help and support your process. Sometimes you have to sacrifice your old life for your new one. Sometimes, but not always, you will find yourself letting go of partners, friends, jobs, even the things that you used to enjoy in an effort to make space for what is about to come into your life. It could even be as simple as a change in your diet as you start to wake up the connection to your higher self. As you integrate the new information and experiences, this has a direct effect on your vibrational frequency. And as we know, your life is a direct reflection of the frequency that you're carrying. So it makes sense that things are going to start changing around you. Integration is important because it's really where the knowledge becomes part of you at a being level. Sometimes it can be a strange feeling, similar to reading a book 3 years ago and then suddenly understanding what you've read years later. Also, after a spiritual awakening, it's important for you to bring the experience back down into your body and ground yourself. Things that you can do to assist in this process include journaling, meditation, yoga, sound healing, receiving energy healing, connecting to like-minded people, grounding yourself by connecting to nature, creating some time alone, enjoying salt baths, swimming in the sea, and drinking ceremonial cacao. It is the journey that is important, not the destination. Connecting to gratitude whenever you can, whatever opportunity you have, will also help. Above all, try to be open-minded and skeptical. Don't just accept what you read in a book or what people tell you, including me. Investigate, experience it for yourself, and then ask yourself, is that experience useful or not?